Welcome back. In the previous video, we looked at how astrology developed in the ancient world, beginning with Babylonian sky observation and evolving through the cultural exchanges of the Hellenistic era. For many centuries, astrology was widely practiced and taken seriously by scholars, philosophers, physicians, and rulers. But if astrology was once so widely accepted, an obvious question arises. Why did it disappear from mainstream intellectual life in the West? The answer is not simple, because several historical forces gradually reshaped how people understood the universe. One important factor was the rise of Christianity in the Roman world. Early Christianity inherited a world in which astrology was already deeply embedded in intellectual and cultural life. At first, some Christian thinkers attempted to reconcile astrology with Christian theology, but over time, tensions began to emerge. One concern involved the question of free will. If the movements of the heavens could determine human events, some theologians worried that this might conflict with the idea that human beings are morally responsible for their actions. Another concern was the possibility that astrology might compete with religious authority as a source of insight about the future. As Christianity became more firmly established within European society, many church authorities began to view astrology with increasing suspicion. Although certain forms of celestial symbolism remained acceptable, astrology itself was gradually pushed towards the margins of Christian intellectual life. At the same time, the political landscape of the ancient world was changing. As the Western Roman Empire declined, much of the technical knowledge of astrology moved eastward. Astrological texts were preserved, translated, and expanded in the Arabic-speaking world, where scholars combined Greek, Persian, and Indian traditions of astrology. From there, many of these ideas eventually returned to Europe through translations into Latin during the Middle Ages. During the Renaissance, astrology experienced a partial revival. Many scholars and scientists of the period studied astrology alongside astronomy, mathematics, and philosophy. For example, the astronomer Johannes Kepler practiced astrology professionally, even while developing his revolutionary understanding of planetary motion. But over the following centuries, another major shift occurred. The rise of modern scientific methods transformed how scholars studied the natural world. Science increasingly focused on physical causes that could be measured, tested, and experimentally verified. Astrology, by contrast, dealt primarily with symbolic interpretation and correlations between celestial cycles and human experience. Because its methods did not fit easily within the emerging framework of experimental science, astrology gradually lost its place within universities and scientific institutions. By the 19th and 20th centuries, astrology was widely dismissed in the West as superstition or pseudoscience. Yet it is worth remembering that astrology had already been practiced and developed for more than 2,000 years before modern science appeared. Understanding this historical shift helps explain why astrology came to be viewed the way it is today. In the next video, we'll look at something many people find surprising: how much of the original knowledge of ancient astrology was actually lost for centuries, and how historians and translators have only recently begun recovering those texts. That rediscovery has dramatically changed our understanding of what astrology once was.